There we go. Welcome. It's great to get together and to see you all. So what questions do you have specifically today?
I don't even know.
Come on, Jackie. Now's the time to ask those questions.
I don't know. That's the problem. I don't even, well, actually, I should just jump on my LinkedIn page and then, I think we were going to check it again, right?
Yeah, we were. You could share your screen.
I have to check this email. Yeah. So, I'm just letting my client know to leave the lawyer a message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's just letting, oh, so many weird things I'm dealing with, but that's okay. Press 101 and leave a message. Okay, there we go. I know. So Christine, I'm very happy to report that I tested positive for COVID.
You tested positive?
Yes. Well, building immunity.
Yeah,
I
it
was
is.
like getting worried. I'm like, okay, am I ever gonna get this dumb thing? And now I have it. So
how are you feeling?
If the rapid tests are, to be trusted, which I have symptoms, definitely. Like, yeah. So I was really tired, but I just chalked that up to like I'm traveling to Calgary and getting treatments and
Wow, if you have COVID, do they still want you to come up there for your treatments? Looks like we lost you. You went into Never Never Frozen Land. Is she on an acreage? Yeah. Your internet cut out, Jackie. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Hey, Jackie.
hey, sorry. Yeah,
So
my internet really weird.
Okay,
yeah,
so maybe I'll share my screen and we'll go through that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen.
LinkedIn.
So I'm going to go into my LinkedIn profile. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I get lots of people congratulating me on my work anniversary. This last week has been a whole bunch of, well, I'm connected to over 17,000, I think, people now. Let me double check here.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's just about 17,000. I'm at 16,949. So 16,050 approximately. So I'm just about out at up to 17,000. And your limit to have connections or invite people to connect with you is 30,000. So I've passed the halfway mark, but it's taken me, I haven't really worked hard at it to invite people to connect with me so that I get up to 30,000 real fast, because I want to be careful who I connect with and make sure that we have, that they fit certain criteria, right? So if I'm going to connect with people, they have to be in network marketing, number one. And I will connect with the odd person who is not really network marketing, but they do crypto, because most crypto companies are kind of like network marketing organizations anyway. And I like to connect with people from WFG because you guys are actually similar to network marketing organizations and you understand the system, right? So
Yeah.
and so that I use that as my criteria. I don't want to connect with people who are in traditional businesses necessarily because they don't understand how network marketing works. And
No.
what got me going with network marketing was the fact that I was meeting, when I went to the sit down to lunch networking meetings before COVID, I had so many women who would come up to me and men and ask me all kinds of questions and how to market their business, their network marketing business using LinkedIn. And so one of the things that I tell them is you need to target your audience. You need to target network marketing people or people that are home-based businesses, or because most home-based businesses are networking businesses or affiliate marketing organizations. Those people understand what the network marketing and affiliate marketing is all about. And from my experience being involved with network marketing, I've come to realize how important it is to be involved with network marketing today, because everything we do with and for our business or ourselves and our families, somehow we need to figure out how it pays us twice. So I think I've mentioned this to you guys before. I have an Amway business, which I've been a part of for 28 and a half years now. And I buy from myself at wholesale, and I get paid a commission for buying from myself. So I'm not really building the business, but I'm getting paid twice for what I do.
Yeah.
And the same with ASEA. And there's some other network, Send Out Cards is another one that I use. And so everything, and there's, I'm in about 21 different network marketing organizations or affiliate marketing organizations. So I can somehow get paid more than once for everything I do on there. So here's what I want to show you today. I want to show you, I'm going to work with you on targeting your audience, okay? So you see this little crosshatch up here?
Yeah.
So the pictures might be over top of it. I'm going to move my pictures around and drop down my little messaging box. And you go and you click on this. This is called work. I call it a crosshatch, but it's 9 dots, right? You can click on that. And then you go down here and you click on groups. When you click on the groups, it takes you to, there's 2 choices that you can make here. You can see it'll open up automatically to your groups, the ones that you belong to. And I'm in about 20 maybe groups, between 20 and 24.
Okay.
And most of those groups are something to do with network marketing or affiliate marketing. So you look at the size of the groups. My goal is to be in groups that are around 10,000 people at least. But some of them are kind of close here. This is 8,000, the Global Home-Based Business Forum. Power 4 MLM and network marketing is 7,000, it's over 7,000. And let's see, this MLM network is 32,000. The MLM Pros is 25,000. Now I joined this group because I met somebody who was a part of this group and they invited me to join. So I thought I would join the group, even though it's under 3,000, but it's not so terribly small that you run out of inventory. So the whole idea with being in the larger groups is because you need inventory. And so at some point, you're going to run out of inventory. You're mining the groups. Okay.
Yep.
So while you're mining those groups, you're inviting people through the groups to connect with you. And this is a really cool strategy that I discovered. And I shared it with my business coach, and she was really surprised. She never thought of it. So I was feeling really good that I knew more than she did just in that one thing. So I shared it with the whole group. So
I've
the
got
way
5 now.
you're in 5 groups, that's great.
I just, yeah, took on another one.
Oh, cool. So I'm going to, some of these groups are not network marketing groups. Here's one, the MLM Professionals Worldwide. That is 13,600 people. That's a nice group. Now
So it
this
says
one,
pyramid networking.
yeah, there, a lot of the people in this group are people I know really well. And the reason they say that is because they're being sarcastic, right? So there's a small one. It's only got 3,000 members in it, the home-based business in MLM. And I just thought I would give it a try and see. And this Women in Network Marketing, it's a really nice group. It's got some guys in there too. I kind of thought it was ironic. It's Women in Network Marketing and it's got a whole bunch of guys in it. And then here's this one, 13,000 in this one, multi-level marketing group. And I'll post this so that you guys can have it. You can, what I like when you record meetings is that you can play, stop, do, play, stop, do.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen that one.
Yeah, the MLM Professionals or the multi-level marketing one.
No, the multi-level.
Yeah, they're both about the same size. And then this network marketing group is Gloria McDonald's group, but it's very small. And I'm only in it because it's her group, right? And the rest of these are, a lot of them are from old clients. And so I joined them. They're clients that are in traditional businesses. So I joined these groups. And gradually over time, I've left different groups because they haven't proven to be really profitable, shall we say, for me.
Okay.
So what you want to
Yep.
do once you get in the groups, and I'll just start with this top one. So you go into the group. Once you're accepted in as a member, you'll get an email that says that you've been accepted into ABC group, right? And so this is Create Your Success, this group. Go in and read the terms of use. So if you have your own home-based business or have been thinking of starting one, this is the place to be. We share ideas, leads, resources, etc. Be sure to introduce yourself to the group when your request to join is accepted. Please, no slamming other. So I'm going to open this up. It says,
Obviously. Yeah.
no slamming other network marketing companies, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I want to create a place for positive interaction. Additionally, people, please refrain from promoting your business as a reply to another member's post. So when other people post on there, what she's saying is they just post in the posting thread, right? We can go and like and comment on those posts. We cannot share those posts, but we can like and comment on them. And when you comment, you say something like, very well said. I never thought of that. Or great to meet you. That was an interesting post. Something like that. It has to be about them, focusing on them, because you're building relationships with those people, right? And so be sure to share this group with your contacts. It's our group. Feel free to email me suggestions. This is a really nice group. I've really found it to be a good group. And so when I publish an article on LinkedIn, which my goal is to do one a week, and I send that article, take that article, and then I will post it in the groups. And when I post an article in the groups, each group, you only post one time a day. If you're going to be posting in the groups, once a day, that's all you post. And you make sure when you do post that you go in and like a bunch of other posts that other people have put up. And so we're going to go through a little bit of a activity here.
So which one is this one again? I can't see.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to click on done because we finished reading that. Create your success. It's called the Global Home-Based Business Forum.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
so it's really important to read all about each group so that you know what the rules of the
Mhm.
game are for that group, because they have different rules of the game. So here's this first post here. This guy by the name of Lars Andersson. He says, "Hi friends, I do many things, as you know, but this one has been kept a secret for more than 6 months because I've been testing it out carefully. Even if I am connected to the creators, I wanted to be sure that I could give you," and you click see more, and he explains it all, right? And then you can click the link that he had hidden in his dialogue, or it's also often referred to in his copy. They call it copy. And he's got several different links that we can check out if we want to. And then you can go down here and you can click like, and you can comment on it. Interesting. And I'm exclamation mark. I will definitely check out some of those links. And that's all you need to say, right? Post. And then what you can do if you want to is you can right click, or you can just a minute. You can write his name down as being a member of this global home-based business. So it's Lars. You can just write it on. I've got a pile of old 4x3x4 recipe cards, right? I will write down, this is Lars, Andersson. And I'll just put the group that he's in, Global Home-Based Business Forum.
Mhm.
So that I know which group he was in. And then I can scroll down and see what's the next one. Oh, Savings Highway Global. Earn an income by helping people save. Oh, do you buy groceries, shop, pay? Okay, so this looks like a shopping discount opportunity. And I'll say, I can say, interesting. And I could say, let's chat if I want. Interesting, let's chat. Now this person, what's their name? This is Louis Hoolaff, Hoolaff. Wow. I'm continuously astounded at these different names and trying to figure out how to remember how to spell them. Oh, this name I can pronounce. Philip Reynolds.
Reynolds. Mhm.
And so he's talking about fuel and the fuel factor.
I love the car.
Yeah, nice car. Save money right at the pump just by switching from premium to regular
Save money.
fuel. So I can just
That's all I use. I get 50 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like that?
Great
Yeah.
post. And you don't need to say a lot. You can just say, make a comment, like and make a comment. And so we've done 3. You can do 3 to 5 in a group when you're in the group. So now what we're going to do, and we're going to remember that. Oh, what was his name? I forgot to write his name down. Philip Reynolds. So now you've got his name, and all you have to do is now we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to leave this group. But before I leave the groups area altogether, so just remember, we're going to go into our home page after this. So I'm going to show you how to send direct messages to people without having to be connected to them on the free, okay? So we're going to go back into this crosshatch, and your best friend is this little back arrow up in the corner. So you click the back arrow and it'll take you back into your network. You can also check the ones that you've requested to join. So I've got a few here that I'm waiting to be accepted into. One's got 11,000, 6,000, 5,000, 18,000. This Marketing to Women network, I'm not sure if that's a network marketing group or not, right? Multi-level marketing group, MLM, it's sort of similar to the name of one of the ones I'm already in. You can also create your own group here. If you want to set up your own group, you can do that. Oh, here comes Richard. So what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way down to the bottom. See here at the bottom where you can search other trusted communities. So we'll click on search. Hey, Richard, welcome. And then you've got the groups. So you make sure that the green button is pressed. And so when you want to look for the kind of groups you want to join, you just put MLM. And if it takes you out of the groups again, you want to go back into the groups. Look at that. There's the MLM network with 32,000. There's the multi-level marketing group with 13,000. MLM professionals with 13,000. And so you can go, most of these I'm in already, right? So you can, look at all these pages of groups that you can go and search through. Just remember, you want to stay around the 10,000 mark. You don't want to get too small because you run out of inventory. And then you end up having to leave the group anyway. But if you've got something in specific that you want to share with a certain type of group, like this one only has 6,000 members, but it's pretty close to 10,000. You've got a fair amount of inventory to work with. And this one, 2.8, it's almost 3,000. It's not too bad. This is 3.1. So I don't do searches in these smaller groups very often. I mostly do searches in the larger groups. So now I'm going to show you how to send direct messages to people without having to be on a paid platform. So when you're on the paid platform and you go look at somebody's profile, so let's just take, I'm in this group here, this MLM network. And so I'll go into the group and you click this see all here. Now, you can direct message all these people. But here's the thing, it gets really confusing if you don't have a system of how to search for people to connect to. So you can pick a letter of the alphabet. So right now, and I write that down, I have my note paper that I've got that I keep notes on every day. And so I always write down what the last search I did was for GP. And I'm now in the MLM network. And I write that down. So that I have a record of the last group I was in, so that I don't make myself obnoxious, comes to my mind. In other words, impose on other people too much. So that's why you're in different groups, because you want to go to different groups and do those searches every day. And you want to join, you want to connect with or invite 25 to 50 people every day. My goal is always 50 people, 50 people, 50 people. I have gone as high as 110 people to invite them, but then the people who own the groups start getting angry at you because you're messing with their people. So, but you don't get frozen or anything from LinkedIn by inviting people from the groups. So I also have my Word document that has my invites to connect. So I'm going to go down to that section and I'm inviting you And I'm going to show all of these on the video so that you guys can go ahead and invite people to connect, and you can use my invites. I don't mind at all. So here's my invites. And I've got 5 different invites that I use all the time. And so this will, you can stop it and copy it and keep it for yourself once you get the recording. So let's just take message number 1. So today I'm going to do message number 1. Tomorrow I'll start with message number 2. And I will invite 20 people with this one message. And I'll go back into LinkedIn. And now the letter that I'm searching on is G. I picked the letter G. And then I go through the alphabet, G-A, G-B, G-C, G-D. You get my drift? So I'm on G-P right now. Let's see, no, doesn't pick anything up. So P and then Q. No, R is usually something for GR. Okay, so then I'm going to make a note in my little notepad that GR is the last one that I'm searching. And look at these here. This one is a first level connection. That means I'm directly connected with this dial-in, and I'm not directly connected with Brian. So let's click on Brian. Oh, good. I haven't sent him an invite. So I'm just going to go Control V. In goes my invite and click send. And click the X up here. Do not click the little blue man, because then LinkedIn will recognize that you're inviting somebody to connect with you. The whole idea is to bypass the LinkedIn algorithms so you don't get sent to LinkedIn jail. You follow? So then I've got some more first connections for I'm connected to these people. Oh, here's a second level. Let's see. Oh, I've already sent him an invitation, so I'm not going to re-invite him again. And then there's first level. Here's a second. Click on message. Oh, I've already sent an invite to him. So you see why you need to have a big group? There we go. Control V. There's Melanie Greeno. So I've just sent her a connection. I just sent her a message like it was a regular message, but it's actually an invite to connect. And that's, you go down the list. See, I've already connected with a whole bunch of these people, right? So let's see, Graham Perry. I wonder if I've sent him a connection request. Oh yeah, I've already sent him a request. Delight. I think I might have sent her one. No, I haven't. Control V. It's in there. Send. And close. So you can do that with and do 20. Invite 20 people, and then you go in, or you can just do 10 if you want. It's up to you, but I don't do more than 20 per group each day. So once I've invited these people, then I'll hit the back arrow, because I'm going to go back into and I'll hit it again because I'm still in the MLM network. So I want to go and pick a different one. So I'll click on this one here. It's got 13,000. So I'll click on multi-level marketing group and click on see all. Now I just did a search for GR. So I've used up GR. So I'm going to do GS. So I'm going to go GS. Oh, there's 2 people. One's a 3rd level connection and one's a 2nd level connection. So I'm not connected to these people yet. So I'll send them an invite. And I don't click the blue man. And this one I'll send an invite to. Oops. Come on, control. Oh, oops, I did do it. It didn't see it show up first. So be careful you don't do it twice. It's a good thing I did that. So you can see. Okay. And you just click send. So now the GS in this group can't be used anymore. So I'm going to click GS, and the next letter is T. DT. Oh, he's a 2nd level connection. Let's see if I've asked him to connect yet. No, I haven't. Control V. There we go. So because I haven't reached even 10 yet, I will keep changing these searches. EU. Oh, there's a few. So I don't know how to pronounce some of these names, but that's not important to me. The thing is, I look at their profile, and if there's a bunch of non-English in there, and so if you want to check out a profile, you right click on their name and then left click on open link in new tab. You go into that new tab way up here. See the new tab up at the top? And then you can check him out. And he's in the Stuttgart region, which is German, I believe. And he doesn't have a lot of English in there. You see? And it's not that I'm discriminating or anything. It's just that it takes so much more time to copy and paste in the Google Translate. And so I have a tendency to only click connect with people who speak my language. Now, if I spoke German fluently, then I would be more inclined to actually reach out and ask this person to connect with me. This person, now look at that, he's got English. So I can right click on him and see Kurt Gushi. It's because his name is a foreign kind of name that I want to just double check and see if his profile is in English, because then I can communicate with the poor guy. Yeah, he's got English, so I can reach out and connect with him. So
But
these
we can't though. But I do the same. I go in and check their profile.
yeah,
And if they're from India, I say, I'm sorry, we can only work in North America.
that's right. But I
But-
don't, yeah,
Yeah, but then I also say, but if you know of anyone, friends or family that you have in North America, let me know.
mm,
And so I'm trying to get kind of
yeah,
a referral out of them too.
yeah,
Okay.
that's a great idea. That's a
Well,
great idea.
Yeah,
So
one guy
I've already invited Kurt to connect. So let's go down to Daniel. And usually when they have, like, this line here is English, it's usually okay. And he's not been invited to connect yet. And this one's a second level connection message. And this is a second level connection message. Heat, second level connection. Crystal, second level connection. You get the drift, right? And so if I go into another group, so I'll go back here. So I've used that same invite. So I'll go in and change my invite to a different one. And I see you're in network marketing. If they're in a network marketing group, they're usually in network marketing. So I'm going to do copy and go back in here. So this is, I'm going to find a different group. Go into MLM professionals. This is a huge group. It's 13,000. Oh no, this isn't the huge group. So this guy is a third level connection. So the last search I did was GS or GT, I think it was. No, TU GT. I think it was GT. So we'll do GT with this one here too. Oh, nothing with GT. So let's take the T off. There we go. Gus. There we can invite Gus. So are there any questions about this? I'm every once in a while the computer just gives me trouble. It's nothing to do with LinkedIn. Anybody got any questions so far? You're okay? Yeah, you're following everything? Okay, so then your next step is after you've invited them, then you go into your network, go into my network, and you click on connections. And then you go in and you start messaging your people and giving them a thanks for connecting. So they've accepted your connection request. This was a request in the groups, and I can tell because it has this message that says message request accepted. That means I met this fellow in one of the network marketing groups. So I'm going to go into my file here, and I'm going to go up to my special little blurb that I like to use that thanks them for connecting. So this one says, thanks for connecting with me here on LinkedIn. Hope this finds you well. By the way, do you look for ways to meet new people and make money? I make you make money, generate more customers and team members for your business. If you would, so you can use this if you want, you can change it around a little bit so that you like to what you like better, so that it fits your personality style better. It's no problem. You're not going to offend me at all. So now you notice when I did the invite, I didn't use their name. And the reason for that is I've gotten into trouble a few times because the window pops up below the person's at that where the actual person is. And I've accidentally typed in the wrong name. And so after they've actually connected with me, then I can say, hi, Liam. And then I'll just paste my blurb in here. Thanks for connecting. And I've got my name at the bottom, so I've signed it. And then Marcia, she's accepted my connection. See, she's another one I met in the groups. And this little window here, message sent successfully, it keeps a tally of how many people you sent thanks for connecting messages to. And then I can put that into my notebook page that I've got. So I keep track of all my stats, how many people I invited, how many people I thanked for connecting, how many people I sent notifications to, like in my notifications. If there's birthday celebrations, I will congratulate them on their birthday. Or if there's congratulations for starting a new job or for starting a new business or for advancing in a business, I will send them congratulations. So that's what you do through the notifications. And look at this. I've been responding to people all day because they've been congratulating me. Okay. So this is Marcia. So I'm going to say, hey, Marcia. And I'm going to put in thanks for connecting message. And I'm going to click send. So watch this little box down here where it says message sent successfully. See, it says, I've got 2 messages that I've sent out. And I like that little box because it keeps track for me. And then I just have to write the total at the end. So Andy, hi, Andy. And send. And Anne, hi, Anne. And I always double check, make sure I spell their names correct. And you notice, see how it's keeping track of the number of people I've sent a message to? Any questions? Okay, you're following okay? Well, remember you've got the play, stop, do that you can do after I get this published. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about Jackie, but I've already been doing this.
That's great. Awesome, awesome. It's kind of a review for some of you, and some of you are not really have missed. And the last 2 weeks, I got busy talking and forgot to record. I apologize big time. So I'm kind of doing this because I forgot to record as well. So So what I'm teaching you is how to be able to use LinkedIn on the free and never have to get on a paid platform. And I've explained before that I'm on a paid platform and I can't get off it now because I've tried to get off
I don't
and-
understand.
and they take away a whole bunch of the free stuff that I normally had when I first started. So before you get on a paid platform, I would recommend, humbly speaking, that you only get on a paid platform if you want to use the Sales Navigator. And that would be if you're selling big ticket items like fancy cars, or you're a car salesman, or you're selling furniture, something big, right?
Mhm.
Because then you might want to be in that. And then you would be on a paid platform. My platform is not on Sales Navigator. It is on the executive. I'm on the executive platform, which is a business platform. And it costs me $68 a month. And I don't need that. I really don't need to be paying that. But
Mm.
if I try to get out of it, then I can't really use the platform anymore because I've spoiled my opportunity there. Okay, so then the next thing, another thing that you can do when you're in my network, LinkedIn, come on, I want to see all the little people here. LinkedIn will suggest some people that you might want to connect with. But I've found that the ones at the top are not always the ones that I want to connect with. The network marketing people are usually down at the bottom of mine. So you'll have to look at that yourself. So see here, you can see the top, blockchain developer. You might want to connect with him. Or this is just marketing. If you just see the word marketing, YouTuber marketing, it's probably not network marketing. There's two types of marketing on here, right? Maybe actually three. And so unless you see the words network marketing together or MLM, you don't know for sure, unless they say the name of their company, you don't know for sure if they're a network marketer. And what I've discovered is a lot of these blockchain developers are not network marketing organizations that they're part of.
Mhm.
So I'm a little bit leery of who I connect to. So if you go through, there's a crypto enthusiast, blockchain consultant. There's a lot of these kinds of people down here. Forever Living is a network marketing company. And so I'm going to connect with him. And I don't usually connect with any more than 10 of these. And these are ones that LinkedIn's going to watch. So LinkedIn only allows you to connect with about 10 people a day. Here's another Forever Living Products person. So I've just done two. It takes a bit of time to just read through network marketing. There's one. There's three. So you just have to be a little bit judicious about who you want to connect with. So I'm just going to put down 3 plus. Okay. Then go to your network or notifications, I should say. And you check your notifications. And the thing that you're looking for in your notifications is you're looking for people. Oh, this person is in one of my groups. He's requested to join one of my groups. Well, I've got a few there, so I'm going to approve them. The thing is, if you start a group of your own, you need to be in it every day. And I'm managing some groups for some people. Digital consumer marketing is my own group. And I started it many years ago. And this group I'm managing for another person because he can't be in there every day. I've got a few groups that I'm managing for people. Now, this person has invited me to follow, but I do not follow people unless I know that they've got a really big following. So the number of people that are following or connecting to that person affects you and how big your reach is on LinkedIn. So it goes way beyond how many people you're personally connected to, out into who's connected to who, right? And so I don't usually accept these people to connect with unless I've had a chance to check them out and find that they're over 100,000. I don't usually connect with people that have less than 100,000 in their connections.
Oh. In their connections.
Yeah.
Mm.
So there's some of my posts that have gone through and people have liked my posts. And this is my business page, my LinkedIn business page.
Mhm.
And you can check out who's viewed your profile. Go in and see who's viewed your profile and thank people for stopping by to visit. I always go in and say, hey, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, but you're on premium.
You can still see 3
They'll
to
only
6
give me-
people at a time.
They'll only give me 2 people or 3, and they'll say, now you have to get premium to see the rest.
That's right. So you just go in and check it several times a day, whenever you get a chance.
So they only give you a couple at a time.
Yeah, yeah, I know that. Okay, so you just go down here and look for the people that you want to congratulate. And so somebody shared a post that you may be interested in. You might want to check those out.
But I never thought of thanking them for stopping by. That's a good one.
Well, it really is. And the reason I do that is because nobody else does it.
Well, now you've got one person that's going to be doing it. Thank
That's
you very
good.
much.
That's good. Yeah, I always
I never
say
thought
thanks
of
for
that.
it. And no, I noticed that quite a few of my pupils, shall I say, or students will come and check my profile out. And so I go in and thank them for stopping by maybe once in a while. I don't do it every time they stop by because it can get to be a little bit annoying after a while.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I'm too new, though, that I don't have that many admirers.
Okay, so this is another one of my groups. It's called Marketing Enthusiasts.
Okay.
So I'm just scrolling down to see if there's anybody that I can congratulate today. And I don't really see anybody that, oh yeah, here's congratulations coming. I've got all these people are congratulating me on my stuff. Congratulations, congratulations here. I can say congratulations here.
Look at that.
Okay, so congratulations on finishing up at whatever. So I'll just send her a little congratulations. What it does is it keeps your face in front of people. And I told you the story about the gal that got in touch with me after 10 years. And then we hadn't talked to each other. And she said, the reason I got in touch with you is because you're the only LinkedIn person that I see posting on LinkedIn regularly.
Yeah, I will do some of those announcements too.
Mhm.
Congratulations. I try to change the wording a little bit.
Mm. Yeah.
Super job.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Are there any questions? Because we're overtime here.
No, not for me, but Jackie's the newbie.
Okay. Anybody got any questions? Jackie?
No, I'll take a look at your recordings and
Yeah.
I
I'll
just
get it
have to get
published.
on and just do.
Yeah.
Do is the word. Do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I love video because I can just do that. Play, stop, do. Play, stop, do.
Where do you, do you have a YouTube channel now, or do you?
Yeah, I do. I have a YouTube channel. I can give you guys the link. I'll send it with you in an email.
Oh,
in an email.
great. That would be good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Richard.
Okay. I'm going to wrap it up here.
Okay, where'd you put that YouTube channel?
I'm going to send it to you in an email
Okay.
after I get this recording published on there. So
Okay.
I'll probably do that tonight.
Alrighty.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to stop share. And we'll see you all next week. And be sure and write down your questions as you start to use LinkedIn more. Write down your questions.
Okie dokie, will do.
And be prepared with your LinkedIn turned on and ready to share your screen. And then that way it will go faster.
Mine's always on.
That's great.
It's always up there.
You're
on the
great.
screen.
Awesome.
Okay,
Sounds
thank
cool.
you very much, Christine.
You're very welcome. You have a great rest of your day.
Yeah. You too, Richard. Yes,
Yep.
Jackie, have a good time
Oh,
with your COVID.
I had it. It's not fun.
Oh, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
I thought I'd hang on a little bit.
good.
You were falling asleep there. Are you okay?
Oh, I get tired in certain things, like I've got a couple of people that send my link to the bump card to.
Oh, yeah.
So then I was trying to put the better picture in the bump card,
Mm,
the one that displays well in
Yeah.
Zoom and in the other social media things, but then it doesn't look good in the bump card.
what?
It's like the resolution, they only allow you,
Oh,
and I haven't figured out how to keep the quality of the image high and have it be smaller. And like in the web, 72 DPI, that's,
yeah.
25 pages wide by 50 high or whatever.
Yeah. Do you
Well,
use Canva?
I have Canva account.
Yeah, you should use Canva because I watched a demonstration once where they took a headshot that they had just done a selfie, right? They held the camera in front of them and just took a selfie and then they uploaded it. And by the time they finished, it looked like a professional headshot. It was really
Yeah.
nice. Because you can resize it to fit.
Yeah, right.
And I think not LinkedIn, the bump card, I think they tell you the size, right? What the size is that they need.
Well, they can only do like it's 1,000
Mm-hmm.
DPI, so to speak. And it even in the, see, one of the things I was going to ask Shelley and Ron, but it doesn't mean that this question doesn't mean the same thing it does to them as it does me. And that is like in our account in the bump card, we have that area that's called the, it's where you would post pictures and videos and that.
Uh-huh.
Because it's directly right there in the tabs when you're building your bump card.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one day early on, I asked Ron, how does a person really use that?
Mm.
And why, I just wanted to hear what he say. Why is it there? Well, it's obvious that it's there because you can have your images and all those things there. And they're just easy to go there and grab it and put it in the bump card. Otherwise, you got to go outside of the bump card, outside of PC Global
Oh,
to get it. And so, but almost everything that I put in there, it's creating a lower quality image. All the
Yeah.
URLs connect to whatever was original that.
yeah. I don't know how to change the quality of the URLs. All I know is how to change the quality of pictures or thumbnails.
Well, yeah, URLs are fine because they are what they are.
Yeah.
And the web is designed to display big and small.
Hmm.
So the scaling works automatically. But if you have a low res image, it's never going to get better than low res. But if they're taking a high res image and making it into a low res image, you can't stop them from doing that. You just have to find out. But even Shelley, she doesn't seem to get it. It's like, well, you go look on whatever and it'll tell you. Well, I followed all those things. And so in LinkedIn, the banner image, right?
Hmm.
I had to run through that for a half a day to get it where it didn't fall apart
Oh,
because it kept saying it's too big, it's too big.
hmm.
So anyway,
I haven't
it's
run into
something-
that yet.
Well, I'm probably making it too hard, but see, maybe I should make the image, 50 inches wide by whatever, and then just make it be like the 999 pixel type thing, like you have, right? And then it may work. But
Yeah,
usually it
yeah.
doesn't, because
Yeah.
it keeps telling me it's too big. And I don't know it well enough because it keeps being hit or miss, not
Mhm.
just there, but in everything.
Have you taken well, no, I guess you haven't yet. But when I run into that and the sizing, it says it's too large. It'll tell you if it's too large, right?
Right. Well, it
So
just
then
said,
I just upload the picture into Canva, and then you can go into Canva and then there's just that resize button up in the top there that you can just click on and you can enter in actual numbers.
Mhm.
And then I just keep trying it until I find one that works, and then I delete all the ones that didn't work.
Yeah, right. Well, that's really what people are doing. See, in Adobe Creative Suites or Adobe
Mhm.
for building websites, they call it Fireworks. And it takes images and you can display them in 2, 4, 10, 12 different sizes. And you can save them as a JPEG, as a PNG, as a GIF, what have you. And you can see the actual quality of the image.
Mm.
And so then when you'll know how much resolution there is, you'll know how.
And that's on Adobe.
Uh-huh.
Ah,
But that software package now probably costs several $1,000s, or it's a subscription.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
subscription that you pay monthly.
yeah.
And
I might be
but-
able to afford it when the 5 billion sales comes through.
yeah, but the thing is Canva's doing the same thing. So when I look in Canva, does it have a tab that says size your image?
Yeah. Just
Okay.
says resize. And you just go up and click on the button, resize, and you can
Okay.
resize any image. And I find that if the image is too big, it's more grainy looking. But if I can get it down smaller, it tends to be more tight
Because
and it
it's
doesn't appear grainy.
compressing.
Mhm.
It's compressing the same amount of data into a smaller
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
And they also, it's not just what we see as a plane. There's something called bit depth.
Mm.
So it's like it's XYZ dimension. In a graph, you have X and Y coordinates,
Mhm.
right? Well, the depth is the Z. And so there's all kinds of YouTube videos on it, but I followed those things. And still, then I put it into certain things like the bump card, and it just makes it even worse.
Hmm.
I don't know why. I even asked a couple of the people that, but they don't want to be, they're too annoyed with friends asking them questions that they probably get stuck in there with them for an hour or two,
Hmm.
trying to tell them how to be a digital competent person. So I just don't, I give it up. And I even told this fellow named Chad, I said, I'll just pay you to size it and do it for me.
Mhm.
And he made it, he in the end, it was worse than it started. I don't understand
Oh.
why, because it was a 20 megabyte file.
Hmm.
So he had plenty to work with, but he just didn't take the time to do it. That's all.
Oh, gee.
And you
Mhm.
run into that all the time, don't you?
Well,
I'm-
I never, okay. How do I tell you this?
The best way is just to say it. You're not going
Yeah.
to offend me.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to offend you. But when I started my business over 12 years ago, I was laid off my job, right? And
I didn't know that.
we had no savings. We have 8 kids between us. We had things happen with our kids that we kept having to take savings and spend on. One of our girls was going blind. We had to spend quite a few $1,000s on eye surgery and whatnot, laser eye surgery to help her, and never got a thank you.
Because she had a retina problem.
Nobody ever told us exactly what was wrong. Our 2 oldest girls, they don't like me. And so I don't know why they don't like me. I've never done anything bad to them or anything.
I know that how that goes.
Yeah. So, anyway, so they don't communicate with us.
Christine, doesn't mean that they'll be that way forever.
No, that one day they will thank us, right?
Yeah, well, they'll realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that's why it was hard for me to figure out how to tell you.
Yeah, no, I understand. I do.
Yeah. And so we had, I was working in the senior care industry, and I was laid off my job. And I'm sitting there in the conference room, and that's what inspired me to write my book, Fired at 50. I was actually 61 when I was laid off. And they call it being laid off or pink slipped, but those are just nice glossy words they use for you're fired.
Yeah.
And so I went to my oldest son, Michael, and this is over 12 years ago. And he's he's a lead programmer with Amazon. Both
Yeah.
of our oldest sons are programmers, and they get paid really well,
Yeah.
and their families are doing well financially. And he said to Mom, well, you're really good at sales and marketing. Why don't you start a marketing business? And I went, okay, how am I going to do that? And he said, you're going to use LinkedIn, and I'm going to get you set up with a podcast show. So that's what we did. And I was so scared, because I wasn't on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I read the entire terms of use for LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I did, because it helps me with my clients now. And
Because
so
you have a
then
lot to talk about. Yeah.
yeah, so then I went to networking meetings, and I noticed that 94% of the people, well, I was saying 60 to 70%, but I think it's more like 94% of the people sitting around those tables were over 55.
Hmm.
And and so I started asking people, how many of you here are using Facebook, and all the hands would go up. How many are using Twitter? About half the hands went up. And then how many of you are using LinkedIn? Well, maybe about 2 or 3 hands in a room of 30 people would go up, right? And so then I got the brainwave. Oh,
That's the place to go.
yeah. How many of you would like help with LinkedIn? Well,
Yes.
all the hands went up.
Yep.
And so then I said, okay, starting next week, I've got 20-minute slots, two 20-minute slots before the meeting, 2 20-minute slots after the meeting. $1 a minute, I'll help you get started setting up your LinkedIn profile. Well, I found out later it was way too little. I shouldn't be charging that little bit.
Yeah.
But I got started, right?
Right.
And then a guy came up to me and he said, have you ever thought of having a workshop? And I thought, oh, I could do that. He said, well, I know a place that you can get for free. Everybody just has to buy their own dinner. And I said, okay. So we went, the room was chock-a-block full of people from our networking group, right? And we had 2 hours to tell them everything I knew about LinkedIn. And then halfway through, we had a potty break, and I said, and I was talking to a few people, and these 2 guys came up to me and said, Christine, you're telling us so much stuff here, we can't absorb it all. And I said, oh, and the other guy said, well, I've got a big conference room. You could come and it's a lecture room with tiers, right? In my office, and you can come and do a full day presentation. I said, oh, that would be good. We could do that. So we did. It was very poorly attended, but there weren't very many people came. So then they came up to me and they said, you know what? You've got so much information here. Why don't you divide it into 3 different
Modules.
presentations? And I said, oh yeah. So they said you should have a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And so I did that. I divided it into 3. And I realized from my past experiences that I needed to have smaller groups, no more than 10 people in a group, so that I could work with everybody while we're there.
Yeah.
And so I met a gal through my book club. My publisher that published my book had a club, and I met a gal there who was in the process of publishing her book. And she invited me to come and do these workshops at her place. So because she let us use her office, then she got it for free. And then everybody else paid $200 for the morning to come and take whatever course, whichever one it was. And then I could be there with them to make sure that I could help them walk through what they needed to have done.
Yeah.
And it was working out really well. And then I got invited by one of the local colleges to come and teach LinkedIn courses at the continuing education program. And so I did that, and I told them I didn't want any more than 10, maybe 15 people max in the classroom, but they had 15 people in the classroom for each session. And so I gradually grew from that. And because of my experience, I realized that most of the people that are over 50 that end up out of work and still needing to bring in an income didn't have savings left.
Mhm.
They had spent everything helping family and whatever.
Either that or the stockbroker stole it all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we tried back then, we tried investing in the crypto industry, and we lost money. So by the time we moved out to Alberta, we had no money left except a little bit in a TFSA. And we had to cash that in to live off because my husband didn't have, he got hired as a GM. And on the way out here, he had been out here working for 3 months. And then just as we were in the process of moving out here, they
Laid
called
him
him
off.
in and laid him off
Yeah,
because there was a downturn in the oil patch.
yeah,
So here we were, both of us coming out to Alberta with no job, no job and no steady income except me and my LinkedIn stuff, right?
yeah.
And so I've been every day, I'm in my office from 8 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, working and composing. And thank goodness I have a bit of a talent for writing. I can write and people can understand what I'm trying to say. And so I published my book just before we moved out here. I published my book, and now I've co-authored 4 other books. And I've been thinking about publishing a sequel to my first book. The first one is Fired at 50, Stop Looking for Work and Discover What You're Meant to Do.
Mhm.
And someone suggested to me the other day that, well, actually a couple of years ago, that I should do a sequel and call it Fired Up at 60.
Yeah, that's good.
So
'Cause
I've been thinking about it.
they're both going to resonate with each other.
Yeah, yeah. So I tell you this whole big story because I discovered that most of these people that have been laid off their jobs need to still have an income. And most seniors who retire at 65 can't retire. They can't afford to retire. And so they need to have tools that they can get for free online to use to help market themselves. And so I tried Adobe, but it was beyond me. But now that I've gotten used to Canva, it's simple, it's easy to use, and I sort of got into using Canva. I am on a on a paid package with Canva. It's not very expensive. It's only $25 a month. But Adobe wanted more money than that. I can't remember exactly what it was, and I was
Like
having a hard
60,
time. Yeah.
like 60 if you were going to, but I bought the Creative Suites outright,
Ah,
and that was hundreds of dollars,
yeah,
and sometimes a couple of thousand.
yeah.
And anyway, they don't do
So-
that anymore. They all do it through the cloud. But
Yeah.
what they've done is they've taken functionality out of all of them, and then you have to upgrade in order to get the functionality back. So
Yeah.
it's really kind of a backhanded way. They made CS4, Creative
Mm.
Suites CS4,
Wow.
work with all this digital internet stuff and everything so well that when they did 5, they upgraded 5 like 5 times or 3 or 4
Wow.
times.
Wow.
And then they jumped to 6, and halfway through the time period, like after about 6 months, they started doing the cloud thing.
Hmm.
But that was going to be at least $60 a month. And I don't think it had everything in it.
No. Yeah.
And so today it's probably $120 a month,
Yeah.
or even $200 a
Yeah.
month or something. I don't know, but all I was trying to do was get over the hump, so to speak. And then with the cash flow, and one of the first things I would have bought was the Adobe Creative Suites cloud.
Hmm.
But that's a monthly fee. So, it ends up being over $1,000 a year.
Yeah.
And so, but every year, that's what you're paying.
Hmm.
And everything wants to be that way, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I might Depends. I find that I'm really having fun with Canva, and it's been working really well for me. I've really enjoyed using it, and I would never have gotten as far along using Canva or with my coaching that I'm doing if it hadn't been for Gloria McDonald. She has just been a lifesaver for me. I've had other coaches. I've always had a coach, pretty much. But none of them really helped me make money. Gloria
Yeah.
helps me make money.
Well, that's the thing I run into all the time.
Mhm.
I would think that Ron and Shelley, you know, they'd be interested if they knew somebody was as interested in this thing as I am.
Mhm.
They would just be a little bit more helpful.
Mhm. I hear you.
Jarvis is virtually no help whatsoever.
Yeah.
He
Well,
hadn't got any interest in that.
yeah.
What, and it's not like really to run him down. It's just
He just
his
doesn't have
age
time.
and where he's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hear you. I think he's a nice man too. And so I've just finally, I've been working and struggling with, because in Canada, we're having a dickens of a time getting our packs purchased from 5 billion sales. And I finally this afternoon was able to do it through Wise, WISE.com. And I was able to buy 2 packs. So I'm going to do one for the DAC insurance, and I'm thinking really strongly of doing the other one for the prospecting tool with 5PC Global, because it can be used by any company, right?
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
a lot more that need to be sold, but they still all end up at 155,000. So I think everything went through this time. I did it through my bank the first time, and I just did one because I wanted to see if it was going to work. And now they're almost out of packages. Well, what happened is my bank got really worried about, because when they went to transfer it, the account that was given to me to give to the bank was an account in Vancouver, which was directed to an account in Ontario. And then when my bank went to send the money to those banks, they saw that those banks were connected to a bank in Sri Lanka. Well, that just put the brakes on, and they refused to send the money to a bank in Sri Lanka because those banks in Sri Lanka don't have a very good reputation in the banking industry. And so they did a reverse. They still haven't been able, it's been 2 weeks or more that they haven't been able to get my money back. So I just went in there today to my Bank of Montreal to buy 2 packs, and they wouldn't do it. They said, we still haven't got our money back from the first one. We're not going to risk it again.
Mhm.
And so then I went on the Facebook page when I got back to my office, and there was a message on there from a gal in Canada. There's a couple of messages I've read on there from Canada, Canadian gals. And this gal said that she used Wise. And I use Wise with other companies that pay me all the time. So I know Wise works. And so I went on there and I read everything, and I think everything's gone through. It looked to me like I have pay dirt, and I made a copy of the page so that and saved it so that I have it to show people if I ever need to.
Yeah.
But I think everything's going to be okay.
Hmm.
And Gloria's getting paid for hers. And I'm just hoping beyond hope that this really works.
Yeah.
Because it would set us up for life, and I could maybe work a 4-hour work week like that book.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
People around me, they can't see, they don't understand the bump card. They don't understand network marketing.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
just,
that's what I find too.
they just have this total
Yeah.
withdrawal from everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, but when you listen to them talk about their daily activity,
Yeah.
it's all steeped in negativity.
Yeah. I couldn't
And,
get over that. Oh,
And so,
I love going to church on Sunday. I just love going to church on Sunday. And I love going and saying hello to everybody I possibly can when I'm there. I'm gregarious. I love to talk to people. And after you say the hellos and everything, out comes all the negative. It's not positive at all.
yeah,
Every morning I get up and I'm so thankful to be alive.
yeah.
I'm so thankful. And I'm thankful
you
for every little thing that we
Go
have. I'm
out,
thankful
do
I
you go
have
out for a
pens.
walk in the morning?
I have a treadmill in my living room.
Yeah, but if you go outside in the fresh air and all
Oh,
that.
yeah, yeah. When it gets nicer, I will. Remember, we're in northern Alberta.
Yeah,
It's not really quite warm enough to go for walks every day yet. But as
Yeah.
soon as that, I do go for walks in the summertime. They have some beautiful parks around here that you can walk around. And they have little apparatus every so far along this park.
to do
And-
exercise.
Yeah, to do different exercises. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's,
Well, it's just that whole thing about somebody will say that they'll go into this negative thing, and once in a while they'll ask, and I say, I would just change the words I use. They say, what do you mean? I said, well, how was your you having a good morning? And they're like, oh, it's great, it's wonderful, but blah, 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 blah. And so I finally got where I start saying, well, it was all good until you said but. But if you could say it over again and just change it to positive words,
yeah,
and they'll say, I don't know what you mean. Then I'll just repeat it in a positive way. And then
yeah.
I say, so repeat it.
They don't get it.
Yeah, but then they'll finally give in and repeat it. And I say, so say it again. I'm having a good day.
Uh-huh.
Everything is fine. It's going to be a really, really nice day. And pretty soon, nobody's complaining.
Yeah,
It's really kind of weird, but
yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
So I was thinking of going to Canva to try that, to work the image.
yeah.
And anyway, so trying to get that get a sale in the bump cart is what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna start with the tool first, the prospecting tool first,
Hmm.
and then I'm gonna do the bump card. I'm doing one of the insurance packages, and the prospecting tool are gonna be the first ones I do.
Hmm.
And then, because they'll do 3 runs a year. So 3 runs of 90, 60, and 60. So, but it never takes that long. The gal that I heard, that the first gal that went through it, I'm sure there's other ones that have completed the cycle already. But the first gal that completed the cycle that I heard of, she, after the 90 days to get the tool trained, they pushed it really hard for 7 to 10 days, and she got 155,000 in sales in those few days.
Hmm.
And then she paid them the 52.7, and then she pushed it again. They pushed it again because the tool's all trained by then, right?
Yeah.
So the second and the third rounds go real fast, just 10 days each. So she did it in 41
30
days.
days.
I think it was 41 days. That's what I was told. 41 days after she did the 90-day setup, right? So it takes about 4 or 5 months to get through a cycle of all 3. And then once you run those 3, then you can put your money, because you got the money already, you can put it in the 52.7 into another run of the same thing if you want, if it's been really successful, or you can put a different product or something in there. So I'm thinking I'll do the tool and the insurance, the health insurance. And then if those are really successful, I might do a different thing in health insurance, and then I'll switch the tool, and maybe I'll just add another, because they're almost out of those I got a notice saying that they're almost,
Because they were only going to
done.
do that with a certain number of people.
Well, they only had set up certain number of packages to offer to people. And so what they were telling me in the message that I got yesterday, I was reading this message. I don't usually get on there on Sunday, but I had this funny feeling that I better check something out, because I felt that it was coming to an end, right?
What is your intuition talking to you?
Yeah. And so, and I've been praying a lot too. And I thought, well, I better listen to that little voice inside. And they said that they're actually going around and through checking different people's profiles. And apparently there's a lot of people who have set up a funnel and it's not paid for yet. Their payment hasn't gone through yet. So they're going through all of those and they're deleting them. And those people are going to have to redo their funnel and make sure the payment goes through. So what I did this time, after I read that yesterday, I thought, you know what? I need to make sure I get the payment through first and then fill up my funnel. So that's what I've been working on this afternoon, as I've been setting up a funnel for the insurance. And I'm going to do,
Well,
so
when you say
yeah,
funnel, that's a 5 billion sales funnel.
yes, the 5 billion sales funnel that you just follow through the steps, right? And fill out everything that they want you to fill out.
Yeah.
And it's actually the guaranteed sales funnel.
Okay.
And so I figure even if they only get me 20,000 in sales, it's a
Well,
landslide.
It's still
Yeah.
20,000 more than you had.
Yeah. That's right.
So with HBN, all I would want to do, and I want to do this with the share program thing, is set it up so that because they're qualified individuals that have already been pre-sorted, that are interested in health and wellness, blah, 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 and organic products and things like that. So they're highly qualified. But that link, the final thing that they would see would be that power line link. Because I invited you through that power line link. So you got your ID and password.
Yeah, that's right.
And so anyway.
So that's another thing I was thinking is trying out some products from HBN and from Amway. So after I've done a big spreadsheet, and after you just do the 3 months, you get 155,000 each run, because they stop it, but they forget about the residual that you're going to get on top of that 155,000. So you go through it once, 155,000, then you're going through it the second time. But when you're going through it the second time, there's another month in there where you're getting residuals as well. So you're getting the 155 plus another 155. And then the third month, you're getting 155 plus 100 plus 155, right? So 3 times. So it grows exponentially. So we have lots of potential to just take and go. I don't need to worry about buying those little $269 packages.
Yeah. So I think the only way that I would be able to get into the timing to do this is with your help.
Okay.
And
I gotta ask you a question before we go further here. I'm gonna do this with Amway as well. They put bundles together, like cleaning supply bundles and laundry bundles and makeup bundles and wellness bundles and stuff, right? And they also have air purifiers and water filter systems. And so I could put any one of those things up on the 5 billion sales. And I'm thinking, I was looking at the products in HBN and I didn't see any packages of bundles put together. And I thought it would be really good if we could put a bundle together and then have a link that we could use that takes, so people would just come in and buy without joining and not have to, just to be a customer and go in and click on the link there.
so you have a
That goes
retail
direct to
site,
me.
you have a resale, you have a customer only
Right.
website that
Uh-huh.
comes right with it.
Okay.
You already have it.
Okay. That's good. I just wanted to check on that because,
And that retail sale,
mhm,
they pay you a 50% commission.
that's
So if
great.
somebody buys a like $300 love box,
Mhm.
they're going to pay you $150.
Well, that's awesome.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
meaning,
And it's really worthwhile selling on the tool,
yeah, and
on the guaranteed sales.
so that's the guaranteed sales system.
Yeah. The only thing wrong with selling products on there is that I can see is that the residual comes more from the company and the recognition that you get and the different levels that you move up through. Because if somebody buys a package of, like with Amway, they buy a package, a laundry care package, that's going to last them about 4 to 6 months
Yeah.
before they repurchase, right?
Well, see, everything now, except for probably things like the laundry soap and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
but all these things that are consumables in supplements
Mm-hmm.
and all that, they're all set up on a 30-day cycle.
Oh, that's great. Because the supplements,
Yeah.
I can see the supplements working really well that way because we have to have the vitamins every month, right?
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
have, so you're a C or whatever, a CIA, whatever.
Yes.
That's a 30-day cycle, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
So almost all these things are like this. And the pharmaceutical industry is actually set up on a monthly cycle. Right?
Wow.
Either it's 30,
Yeah,
60,
you're
or
right.
90. And the military likes 90 because it cuts down on their overhead. And
Oh.
it's a repetitious thing.
Mhm.
Well, half of what they're prescribing and peddling to these people, one, it's the pharmaceutical and designed it to keep them on it for the rest of their life.
Yeah,
And biologically, they're actually making sure that happens.
yeah. That's
And so,
why I stopped. I don't know, pardon me for interrupting, but I'm a trained speaker for the Arthritis Society. And I used to go and speak to people about arthritis because I've got arthritis. And they would not let me talk about natural
right.
solutions.
Yeah.
They only wanted me to refer to the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah,
And so I quit.
Be-
I just
yeah.
no way I was going to do that.
See, Eli Lilly spent a decade trying to figure out a drug that would reverse osteoporosis. Well, if you really took apart what osteoporosis is, it's basically a nutrition, it's a nutrition imbalance, it's a lack of nutrition
Yeah.
problem.
Well, what happens with arthritis is it attacks the body. and goes, you're being attacked from within. That's
Well,
arthritis.
that literally, though, is part of it's an immune function,
Mhm.
but the other part of it is it's a lack of nutrition.
Yeah,
And it's all the crap that they put in the pharmaceuticals and the food.
yeah.
And oddly enough, now I'm being sarcastic, oddly enough, it's associated with Alzheimer's. It's
Mhm.
associated with diabetes, all the major multifactorial disease, kidney disease, all these things. And if they just stopped eating all that garbage and taking those phony medications and started eating honest, green, organic
Mhm.
nutrition, they would stop having achy joints because they would not be loading those joints with lactic acid, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
And so once I stopped eating food of any sort like that, but more importantly, I ate more like really leafy green stuff, what
Mhm.
have you. I didn't have any joint pain anywhere. Now, people that had really full-scale arthritis, I mean, I just don't know what they do. But there are people
Yeah.
who would go ahead and pay a couple $100,000 or more for a hip transplant or a knee, artificial knee or what have you, instead of change their diet.
Yeah, yeah.
And, then
I just am amazed at people
and
who'd
not only
rather go
that,
under the knife rather than change their habits.
yeah, they eat that horrible meal and then they go and sit and have alcohol and smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
And then I got where I just don't really have many friends because this is what these people do.
Yeah.
And they try all kinds of things to try to get me. They try shaming you, they try running you down, they try swearing at you. You just think you're too good. You're just a selfish son of a bitch. You just think you're too good to sit here with the folks like us. I can sit there, but I'm not going to breathe your secondhand smoke.
No.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I find more and more people that actually want to eat food that doesn't tear down their body. Instead, it gives them real nutrition.
Yeah.
And that's most of, anyway, I could go into more stuff like that, but it was interesting when you said to me that, you know, all these people that they're having these mental memory problems, blah, 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 blah. And I was curious to ask you, why all of a sudden did you ask me about that? I assume it had related to 5PC or 5 billion sales. But the other part of it is, no,
Yeah.
you know, people that are getting into more and more of the dementia and Alzheimer's situation.
Well, my mother died from Parkinson's disease, from complications of Parkinson's disease. And that was at a time before I really got into studying about nutrition and being more healthy. And I didn't know, I was at a loss. I didn't know how to help my mom. And she ended up with dementia. And I was living in Vancouver area and they were living out here in Alberta in Lethbridge. And so I would have to go on a long weekend. When there was a long weekend, I'd come and fly out and I would go through their freezer and make things like meat pies and casseroles and put them in the freezer so that they would have things that Dad could just warm up. And Dad's a trained veterinarian, he's not a cook. and I was trying, it was all from scratch cooking, right? And my dad was having a terrible time with his stomach, really terrible time with his stomach. And so when I was there visiting, I noticed that he was drinking Coca-Cola. And I said to him, you know, we did an experiment when I was in grade 9, and we took a penny and put it in a bottle of Coca-Cola, just a small bottle. It wasn't a big bottle. And we put it in there on Friday and came back on Monday morning, and it was all corroded. And in another bottle of Coca-Cola, we put a piece of raw meat, about 1 inch square piece of raw meat. And that was put in on a Friday night. In fact, I think we did it at the same time. We did the penny and the piece of raw meat. Well, all that was left of the raw meat was scum on the top of the Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
There was no meat left.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
just scum. And I told Dad that, and I said, Dad, I think you need to stop drinking your Coca-Cola. And he, once I explained that to him, he stopped drinking Coca-Cola, and his stomach problems started going away. But they still came back from time to time. And so I said, I think you need to do an experiment, because you might be allergic to dairy and wheat like I am. And so I said, try using soy milk or almond milk instead of regular milk on your
Soy
cereal.
milk's bad.
Well, you know, I didn't know anything.
Yeah, I
different.
know.
So
I know.
and so he tried, I can't remember what it was he did. He used almond milk. I think he used almond milk. And actually I was using almond milk. I still like almond milk. And he started to have less problems with his stomach. But he would still have problems every once in a while. Well, he was eating cold cereal that had wheat base in it.
Mhm.
And he was eating a lot of bread. And so I said, you know, Dad, you need to stop eating bread. Try taking bread out of your diet. So we took bread and dairy out of his diet, wheat and dairy out of his diet, and his stomach problems went away.
Mhm.
So, but then he's living on his own, and he didn't have any, he doesn't know how to cook. He can't fry an egg, couldn't fry an egg. He's gone now, but at least he wasn't having stomach problems anymore, even though he was still, you know, I said, you need to read the ingredients on the cans. If you're buying canned soup, a lot of them have wheat in them for thickener.
Yeah, but they also have preservatives.
That's right,
And
preservatives, and they also have dairy. A lot of
and
them
the
have dairy.
and the linings
Yeah,
are leaching into.
yeah, into the food. Yeah. So anyway, we tried to help him as best we could, and whenever I went to visit, I would always try and cook up as much as I could and fill their freezer so that he would have things he could just warm up. But my mom was so far gone. She was to the point with what happens with Parkinson's is all your muscles stiffen up in your body. So here's the cushion, and here's Mom's head, and she would be going to lie down on the cushion, and she would be stuck in midair, and just gradually, her muscles would gradually let her head come down on the pillow. It was really painful to watch. So it's a terrible disease.
Well,
terrible.
All she really probably needed was potassium and magnesium.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd have seen she would have had all this flexibility.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah. She couldn't control her walking in the end.
yep.
And
And that was because
all her-
glutathione levels dropped so low. And Dr. McCord's studies show that protandem activates the DNA.
Mhm.
the sequence of genes they identified, not him, but the rest of the industry
Mm-hmm.
identified as survival genes. And so they got that from the concentration camps. Why did these people survive? And they identified survival genes that were turned on in the DNA. And so anyway, that's what Protan does. It's an activator of your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And they have 3 types. They've got NRF1 that focuses on energy production, so it resonates with mitochondria.
Mm-hmm.
NRF2 resonates with the genes that create antioxidant enzymes like superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione.
Mm-hmm.
Because glutathione is the messenger between all these molecules.
I
And-
understand about glutathione because one of the things they tell us in ASEA is that the redox molecules boost glutathione 500 times.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that gets bumped up as well. And then they made NAD, protandem. NAD is, it's a molecule that's key in the Krebs cycle of metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so all 3 of these things working together sends the synergy off the charts, or just basic NRF2 increased in McCord studies by 18%, got an increase. Well, overall, it took the average 7% a year aging, and it reduced it down to the level of a like newborn
Wow,
in an 80-year-old person.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and the thing is, it doesn't just happen overnight. It's like within 30 days or 45 days.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people have a good result sooner, but then you get detox along with it. And that could show up in a variety of ways. But then people will stop taking because they say that medication made them sick, but they were just detoxing.
Yeah.
But anyway, aside from all of that, that's the main thing about, well, if you eat leafy greens on a regular basis that are organic,
Yeah.
you're basically going to end up doing the same thing. But now with glyphosate circulating the globe, it's in the water, it's in the air, it's in everything. So it's a really big problem. And it's where it's showing up the most is in baby formula, in vaccines, especially for kids.
Wow.
And the autism rate every time they vaccinate spikes up.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I have a grandson, and my oldest boy, Michael, has his son is Rowan. Rowan's 16 now. I think he just turned, 17. Wow. Anyway, he's got a type of autism. I'm trying to remember what they call it, Asperger's.
Yeah, Asperger's syndrome.
Yeah. And when he was a baby, he was perfectly normal when he was born, perfectly fine. And they give them these injections when they're just really tiny. And after his first injection, he screamed and screamed. They couldn't get him to stop screaming. He screamed all day and all night. And my son phoned me in tears. I could hear his wife crying in the background. I went down to help them as best I could with this little boy. We just couldn't get him to stop crying. He just cried and cried and cried. And from then on, he had funny reactions to things, delayed reactions. And we noticed that he wasn't normal anymore. So we literally watched him change from a normal little baby into autism.
Because they gave him a vaccine, didn't they? Yeah,
Yeah, it happened after he had his vaccine.
they're lying like there's no tomorrow about what vaccines are doing.
Yeah,
There's way more people being injured and kids by them than are
Yeah.
being helped.
yeah. I
It's
agree.
a
I agree.
huge money-making
I think
proposition.
I had a really good conversation with a guy I met on LinkedIn, and he has ADHD,
Mhm.
and he thinks that it's been brought on largely by the inoculations that you get, because most of us who are boomers went through the age where, at least we did in Canada, the community nurse came once a year to each classroom through grade school and would weigh and measure us all and check the sheet to see what booster we needed for immunization. Our parents were never asked. It was just accepted that the nurse came around and just gave everybody their upgrades on their inoculations to make sure everybody was up to date. And it was just a routine thing. The nurse came once a year and did it, and parents never had to sign a permission slip, nothing. The nurses just came and did their business. And I think that a lot of us boomers have things like forms of autism and forms of ADHD. And when I was talking with this guy, he said to me, he said, I'm watching you. He said, you display symptoms of ADHD. And I went, oh. And he told me some of the things. And it could be very well, most of us people who are in the boomer generation have these symptoms because we've all had the vaccines all our lives.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. And I know for me, I had too many head injuries. And I know it's made a difference. But a lot of people that have instances that way tend to end up, the creative side of their brain works really well. And so they do more creative things. What
Mhm.
a school system would say was creative. You see it with dancers, and you see it with like the Rain Man. They're good with numbers.
Mhm.
They can just run all kinds of numbers through their heads, pick
Mhm.
out dates. You say, what week, what day of the week in 2033 is your birthday going to be on? And they
Mhm.
just go, they tell you the day, and you go look it up, and it's that day.
Yeah.
They just do that, which says something else about what an environment do we really live in?
Mhm.
Because everything relates in a polar field.
Yeah. Well, one of
Because
the things, yeah, I hear you. One of the things I really would love to do, and that is to go and purchase back the ranch I grew up on and grow organic things. Have it be total organic.
yeah,
It's free. It's way out in 20 miles from the nearest town
yeah,
and away from pollution and things like that.
yeah.
And I think it would be really great to be back out there. But
Yep.
I'd have to completely rebuild the whole thing.
Yeah. Well,
Everything's getting run down.
that would be a chapter in your book,
Yeah.
because literally you'll be sending the infinite presence in our spiritual world
Yeah.
the message of what it is that you would like. And that is a message to that energy that the same one that allows us to breathe,
Mhm.
beats our heart and everything. Because we know if people's hearts stop beating, it's an electrical current that
Mhm.
starts it. But so we know it's not every day we are able to be alive and breathe. It's a life force that we cannot really control, right?
Mhm.
Anyway, so when you write it and you speak it, it amplifies that, spiritually speaking.
Mhm.
Anyway, so we know that that really does work. Anyway, there's different ways of doing that, but
Well,
it's just a thought, right?
yeah. Well, there's, one of the things that we want to do is to, and I think I mentioned this to you before. In fact, I'm sure I did. We want to get more healthy and be taking in more healthy things and change that whole aspect of our lives. Because even if you buy organic in the store, it only has to be 30% organic. It's really not true organic.
I know. I think here everybody agrees at least 50% of what people say is a trusted organic thing that you believe you can trust.
Yeah.
That if you're getting 50%, it's like 100%. That's the best you're
Mhm.
going to do.
Well, that's
And-
kind of why I want to get the ranch buy back the ranch, because I want to grow a huge garden.
Well, and the thing is, you need to have, meaning it's not like a lecture. What we know is we can't do all that work. You have to have a working crew. You have to have a foreman or a manager, because you have to deal with the books.
Yeah.
You have to deal with logistics. If you don't have somebody that can do that and find good sources of what you need, whether it's fuel, machinery, seeds, all that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
fertilizer.
Well, one of the things I'm going to do is grow my own seeds. So I'll have enough vegetables and things that I can be able to harvest my own seeds.
Are you going to have any time to go on vacation and have fun?
Well, I'm, when I grew up on the ranch,
Every day was like that, wasn't it?
yeah, like
It was for me.
just a lifestyle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
and
could
I want to
leave the
get
house.
back on my horses again. And
Yeah, we could leave the house in the morning and we didn't have to come back until it was dark.
yeah,
And nobody gave us a second thought.
yeah,
The only thing is, as time went on, they'd start saying, be careful about strangers and things like that.
yeah. Well, I already know a couple that I would consider hiring to manage the ranch for me.
Yeah,
So we wouldn't have to be there all the time.
yeah.
And I've already got an accountant, because I know we're going to come into some money here with this 5 billion sales. So we've got a lawyer friend who I'm going to ask. He specializes with corporate law, but it's not tax law. So I'm wondering if somebody at his firm is a really good tax lawyer because if you've got, according to my spreadsheet, we start selling these products and services. Well, the insurance is for sure going to be 155 every month after the first sign up, 155,000 every month after the first sign up. And if you have 3 of those, then you've got 3 times 155,000 coming. You pay the 52.7 each month. By the end of this year, according to my calculations, we're going to be close to billionaires
Well, it could be.
So we're gonna have to, and it's not that I want to, that I worship money or anything. What I think about is getting that ranch again and rebuilding that ranch and growing organic stuff and having hay that we can harvest, that animals can eat, that is organic, because we need to feed. If you're going to eat meat, you got to eat animals that are organically grown. And that's what we used to do when I was raised on the ranch. Everything was organic.
Yeah.
Our chickens in the chicken coop were fed organic food. We grew our own grain and our own everything. So there would be, it would have to be managed, you know, there would have to be
Yeah.
hired help.
Well, see, like companies like Vantage,
Yeah,
and so many others, they don't know anything about nutrition. They didn't even use the word when I got into the company,
yeah,
because I became aware of Protanum in 2005,
wow,
but in 2018, that's the first. They didn't start out as a network marketing company.
mm,
They almost went out of business, bankrupt 3 times before they got an advisor that said, this is a company that's perfect for network marketing.
yeah,
And because it takes a bit of explaining what the product is.
that's right. It just sits on the shelf and there's nobody there to tell them exactly what the value of it is.
Well, so I took Dr. McCord's ABC primetime report,
Mm-hmm.
but I took the follow-up to that as well, and I made a big paper.
Mm,
I translated all the video, and I didn't have YouTube to do it. So anyway, even giving that to people, taking them step by step through why, with the patents and the studies that have been done, 98% of all the studies done on Protandim haven't been done by the company. They've all been done by all these other universities around the world on
yeah,
their own. One of the first 2 or 3 of them asked LifeVantage for permission to do a study on it.
mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody else ever asked after that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big signal to the supplement industry about multi-level marketing.
Yeah,
Meaning that was before multi-level marketing, really, at least as far as LifeVantage. Anyway, relative to all of that, that's
Mhm.
just takes more time to go through. And if people don't believe it, I mean, if they can't understand it well enough to just believe in it, they're not going to keep taking it. They won't. Most of them won't even buy it because it's too expensive.
yeah,
So anyway, but I know the science of Ayurvedic medicine is most of it. You're going to get the same results if you actually really pay attention to that
mm-hmm.
Ayurvedic medicine. And the HBN products are the highest quality. Every time I'm amazed, I find out and experience it myself. They are really high quality products.
Mm-hmm.
And the formulator actually prays for spiritual guidance when she's coming up with a new formulation.
Wow,
And until she feels like she didn't get the right message or blessed by God, she'll just keep working on it until she does.
Wow.
And so, anyway, it's just something to think about, because literally all you would have to do, anybody, is if one of your children or two of them are into organic food, but Roger and one other person literally buy a bottle of black seed oil, highest quality, highest concentration of black seed oil you can find on the market anywhere. And they have 25 CV points, right? Order, one on your left leg, one on your right leg, you'll be an executive. And when you become an executive, you're eligible for bonus, at least 3 or 4 bonus pools.
Wow.
Well, I've actually been working that maybe 6 months, 5-6 months. And because I did nothing with it for the first 5-6 months.
Mm.
And then the person that signed me up said, I haven't been doing anything with it either, but she showed me what she already made in her back office.
Hmm.
She was already making several $100s. Well, today, I'm like, I don't pay for products anymore. I broke even several months ago.
That's great.
And so you got nutrition there. It's so inexpensive to join. There's no fee to join.
Hmm.
In LifeVantage, you got to pay basically $100 to $1,000 to join. Literally.
I know. That's why we
Yeah.
didn't join. We got invited to presentation here in Edmonton a few years ago, just before COVID, a couple of years before COVID. And it was just, we just looked at that and we thought, who's going to sign up for that? Who's going to have the money to be able to afford to do that?
Yeah, you're right. It's you have to be in a pool of population that does have the money, but they also have the awareness.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you can't.
Yeah.
I tried. I really did. I tried. And then the upline is terrible.
Wow.
They don't. They do all kinds of bait and switch kind of things. They don't tell you the truth. They're just all kinds of things. And so it's like, heck, my prayers were answered because along comes HBN.
Yeah, that's great.
80% of the people in HBN only purchase products. They're totally 100% debt-free.
Mm.
They own their own facilities. Totally.
Yeah, that's like the Amway business. They
And
own
how
all
long-
their own facilities. They grow all their own stuff organically.
How long did it take them to get there, though?
I don't know. They were that way from when we started back in 1994.
Mhm. HBN reached that in 3 years.
Wow.
Actually, sooner than 3 years. And so if you want to be close to launch date,
Hmm.
meaning it is really one that you can make a lot of progress in, and that almost everybody you know can afford at least one 25-point order, which would cost them about $33 because of tax and shipping. So anyway,
It's 6:30 here almost. I gotta
Yeah.
go eat supper.
I know. Anyway,
It's been delightful. I always
With-
learn a lot from you.
well, with 5 billion sales, as I do from you, Christine, with 5 billion sales, if you figure this formula out, if you would let me know,
Mhm.
and I'll do everything I can to purchase whatever that package is and run it.
Mhm.
I can't do it without you because this social media market and all this stuff has got me. Google, they still block me on stuff,
Mhm.
and nobody can seem to figure out why.
Well, have you got a, well, now it's probably different in the United States than it is in Canada. But if you've got a WISE account, WISE.com,
I don't.
okay, if you set one up and have a special checking account set up to that account,
Because it's like Cash App and Venmo and all
Yeah.
those others, right?
okay, so tomorrow's Tuesday. If you want to try it out, I wouldn't get any more than 2 packs. Just get 2 packs. Because the thing is, once your packs start paying you, you can reinvest them because you'll have
Mhm.
enough money to reinvest, right?
When you say a pack, would need to talk about what the pack is and how much money it is.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's
'Cause
do
I-
that. Are you available tomorrow morning? Because I just looked at my calendar and I don't have any appointments tomorrow morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon with 5 PCG, which is 3 o'clock your time.
Well, I could do something with you in the morning. The other thing, Christine,
Mm-hmm.
I want to pay you for helping me do that first part of the funnel. Right?
You mean the 5 PCG funnel?
Yeah. And then I'll pay you again to either set it up or get me set up with the other half.
Oh,
And part of that's because I'm just running out of time with all kinds of other things.
yeah, okay.
And the thing is, I got to deal with my mother-in-law's house
Oh, gee.
because either it's going to be a lost asset and then it won't be a concern of anything,
Yeah.
but I just have run out of time.
Mhm.
And I spent all weekend in the Dream Builder thing, which is fine, but they spent almost half of the time herding people into a selling event. They trying to keep everybody purchasing more and more and more of what they offer, which is good. It's just in the thousands of dollars every time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it's really good, high quality stuff and information they have. But it's also, they are functioning like a network marketing company, but they won't admit it. They won't admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, it's an interesting thing, but it's truly a really positive mindset. The most positive mindset I found anywhere. And so it just keeps taking a bite out of time for me,
Mm-hmm.
literally a big bite out of time.
Oh, I hear
For
you
me.
big time. I've got a big project I have to start on Wednesday,
Yeah,
and it's going to take a big bite out of my time too.
yeah.
So I'm thinking time is of the essence. So I can be at 7 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock your time if you want.
Okay.
Okay.
9 o'clock. Yep. And then I'll let you go because I'm going to
Okay.
end up having a Zoom here in a minute if it hadn't already started.
Okay. Awesome. You have a good evening. We'll see you
Okay.
tomorrow.
Thank you. I'm glad I got to see you. And I
Me
was
too.
wondering because I hadn't seen you on 5PC.
No, because I've been so busy working on getting this 5 billion sales set up.
I thought you might be either that or you got sick.
No,
Yeah,
I
or
don't hardly ever get sick. I
Yeah.
very seldom get sick.
you know, I've been to a doctor once in my life. That's not exactly true, but like I got age 39, I got a physical because they said, and it was with one of the most bogus things that I ever was involved in. It was totally bogus, the whole thing, and it cost hundreds of dollars. And I've never gone back or anything.
Yeah,
And Medicare and
yeah.
all
I
these
hear
other
ya.
people demanding that I get physical. And I just said, nope, not me. No, thank you. No, thank you. Not doing that. Anyway, see ya.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.